Hello and welcome to Eastern Geeks Out, an EP Media associated podcast where I'll be discussing news and interesting topics in the gaming and entertainment world. My name's Deforest White,
And I am Jordan Lowry.
and we'll be your host for the duration of these episodes. How you feeling today, Jordan?
I'm doing pretty well. I can't complain. Honestly, I've been playing this new game actually though.
Oh yeah?
It's on the VR. It's called snap, why not? A Life of a Broadcaster or something like that.
Yeah?
And it is actually really fun. I'm not gonna lie.
That seems thematically appropriate for us. I've not heard of it.
Kind of is. So basically, it's a VR game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of got a story to it. I'm not really following it though, but basically the story kind of goes of it takes the place of this guy. I think his name is like Alex or something, and he has to and he's basically a broadcaster, and it's got an interesting twist to it because it's kind of like supposed to be it's almost like COVID, but like they don't specify as COVID. Instead, they do like this like fuzzy monster attack is what it is. But you're a broadcaster during these times, and you're basically you're basically a production switcher, which I think is super cool. So that's the only reason.
Not for broadcast?
Yes,
Okay.
it's pretty good. It's a pretty good game. But I started playing that recently, obviously because of a switcher, and I was like, so that's
That
my
looks
life.
really interesting. I'd not heard of it before.
I haven't either until I looked it up, and I was like, okay, I'll play it. So I gave it a shot.
I might pop over and get some hours in that. 'Cause
Obviously. Shoot.
that is right up our alley.
I mean, it has that feel of a production switcher, which I love, obviously, but like it just takes that feel to it and it just like amplifies it in VR. And I'm like, this is challenging, so it's like I'm kind of getting real world experience without it even being real, you know?
We might want to see if we can get Em to try it out, so she can give her a seal of approval.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've been playing a few games. One, I've been getting back into Splatoon 3.
Okay.
Which any competitive shooter is gonna like hold my interest for a little while, but I like swap between them a lot. Currently, I'm flopping between Splatoon 3 and Overwatch 2. But we actually have a new hero coming out for Overwatch 2 here in a little bit, called Lifeweaver, who is a support hero, but like a really weird one. Most support heroes have a focus on, like healing the teammates or like, providing them with like shield and cover and whatnot.
Right.
This one instead is focused purely on like positioning, or maybe not purely, but like primarily on positioning. He's got an ability that like shields a teammate and pulls them to you. He's got an ability that like places a platform on the floor that like he can stand on and it raises up. So it gives them like automatic high ground and it can shield them from like shots from below. Looks really interesting. I'm not sure how he's gonna like mess with the meta of the game, but I'm excited for him. I'm just not excited for having to wait super long to be able to play him because of the battle pass system, and I'm a free to play player, so
I am too. No.
too bad.
Yeah.
Outside of that though, did you happen to watch Mr. Aonuma's Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom video?
I did not know.
So we got a little bit of a sneak peek. I'm a huge Breath of the Wild fan, and I think most people who played Breath of the Wild are huge Breath of the Wild fans.
Yeah.
I've yet to hear people being like, I didn't like that one.
That's mostly for all Zelda games though, if you think about it though.
Yeah, there's like one or two that people are like iffy on.
Right.
Like I know Triforce Heroes, a lot of people didn't really love,
Yeah.
but like that one's kind of more of like a spin-off title than anything else. So, but no, I'm big Zelda fan. I do know a lot of people aren't particularly fans of like Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
But I think that was mostly because of like repetitive bosses and motion controls. The game itself is actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But I was really excited to see more of Tears of the Kingdom because it's a direct follow-up to Breath of the Wild. And Zelda doesn't do those too often. I mean, the most obvious ones are like Majora's Mask being a direct sequel to Ocarina of Time. But like there's some where you get like a companion game like way down the line. This is the first one where it's been like, no, we're doing it like immediately after, and well, I say first one. This is the first one in like the modern era that they've done that. But I was excited to see how they were changing things, and they have added a lot of really interesting maneuverability mechanics. Uh, Link has a skill called Ascend, where if he is in an area that has a roof or like a cave overhead of him, he can just shoot up vertically and swim upward through the world, so you never have to climb things anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's got an ability called Fuse, where you can. It looks like it functions similarly to the Magnet ability from the previous game, but he can pick up any object, not just magnetic ones, and he can just like stick them together and fuse them. And they showed that being used for like making vehicles and like weird little contraptions and using that to maneuver the world. So you can make little flying machines or boats or cars. It's really interesting. I'm curious to see how the community is going to like mess with that, because you already know you give any like large scale AAA game a community like this, and they're going to be experimenting with that stuff like day one.
Right.
I am anticipating like 2 or 3 days before we see people being like, I made a mech.
No, there's gonna be so many creative like spin-offs of it. I can't wait to see one that flies, one that's like I wonder if you can like fuse two objects together. Like
You can, yeah.
like fuse a fuse?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can just keep
It,
adding on.
it's gonna be there's gonna be a lot of
Mm-hmm.
creativity in that.
I'm very excited.
Me too.
And
honestly.
that's actually not the only new crafting mechanic that the game's added. One of the biggest complaints about Breath of the Wild was the weapon durability system.
Yeah.
When you use a weapon for too long, it like breaks, and then you gotta go find a new one. They appear to have fixed that in the weirdest way imaginable. So in this video, Mr. Aonuma picks up just like a stick off the ground, and he's like, yeah, if you were to hit something with this stick, the stick would break immediately. But if you do this, and he walks up to a boulder, and he fuses the stick to a boulder, and now he's just got the boulder on a stick, and he can swing it like a sword, it becomes more durable. And I'm just like,
Whoa.
that's the reasoning?
Wait.
You can fuse any object in the world to any weapon in your inventory, and it'll just function.
Could I fuse an enemy? You can.
You can fuse enemies. He actually showed he's got a set of arrows, and he like took I think it was like a bokoblin eye and fused it to one of his arrows, and it turned the arrow into a homing arrow.
Whoa, wait.
Yeah.
I like that.
Cool.
That's a good idea and like a good kind of like mechanic that not many video games do. Like you're never able to like take something so out of the box and turn it into something for your benefit.
I'm really excited because it looks like you can do that with like you get a unique effect for every ingredient in the game.
Oh.
Because they also showed like Clue jelly, which is something that you get from like the little slime enemies.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, yeah, so if you attach one of these to your arrow and he puts it on and he shoots an enemy, it explodes and like turns the entire area into like a frozen spot. So an enemy that would normally be like a big long fight is now a one-hit KO. He showed he took a fog shroom and fused it to his shield so that when an enemy hit him in the shield, the mushroom exploded and did like a flashbang essentially, so that they were confused and couldn't see him, and he can hit him from the side.
This is so wild.
He picked up like a really long stick and a pitchfork and fused them together and got like a really long like pitchfork spear the length of this room, and it's insane just the amount of maneuverability. And obviously we've only seen like a little bit of it,
Right.
but immediately the gears are turning in my brain of like, okay, you showed some like elements that you're using for the machine building side of things, of like, oh yeah, you can use these fans you find in the world to build like flying machines, and you can attach them to like propel your boat. And my immediate thought is like, okay, what happens when I take one of those fans and I put it on a shield and I just approach an enemy with that? Is it going to blow them away? What happens if I put one on an arrow? Like, am I gonna be able to like fire saw blades at my enemies and have them just like get blown away in that? Because we've already seen he didn't shoot it, but we did see him attach a Korok leaf to an arrow. And in Breath of the Wild, what Korok leaves did were they produced gusts of wind when you swung them.
Oh.
So my thought process is, if I shoot that as an arrow, is it going to shoot out like a giant wind blast wherever I'm firing?
Well, see, why is I like how you have the strategic kind of side to your weapon placements. My first thing was, what if we attach the fan to the fan?
Okay.
Like, where's it gonna go? Up or down?
Okay, so I mean, in all likelihood, it would just roll, right?
Maybe.
Like,
I don't know how physics works.
that's entirely fair. We don't have our hands on the game yet, so we don't have any way of knowing. But it is really interesting that you should say that, because I do think there's going to be a lot of like, for lack of a better term, crazy bullshit,
Really.
which I'm allowed to say.
Says who? Says who?
Me.
Oh, that's fair.
Also, I think that's one of the words I can say without getting bleeped. So yay! But there's like an element of we see him like put a few logs together and like attach some fans to them, and that's just stuff that like he does with this fusibility, and there's not like a cost for it. You can put as much like attached to itself as you want to. And my immediate thought process is, okay, can you just go around this world building bridges? Like, can you just decide, I don't like having to swim across this river. Nobody else should have to do that. I will take logs and build bridge. Because it seems like you might be able to do that. And I think it would be really funny to single-handedly change like the infrastructure of this world. And we're not even getting into all the like the sky islands and the new dungeons and all of the new enemy types. Because we saw in the trailer, there's new enemies in the game that also have fused weapons. So one of the enemies that we saw fighting Link on one of these sky islands literally has like a big old stick with a metal door on the end of it. And when he slaps Link, he goes flying off of the island and falls back down like a mile down to the ground.
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy, man. Like, there's so much going into this game, and I'm really curious to see, because when Breath of the Wild came out, immediately after, it was like, okay, this game did amazing, everyone loved it. And so Immortals Phoenix Rising came out, and Genshin Impact came out, and Sonic Frontiers came out, and they're all borrowing stuff from Breath of the Wild. I'm really curious to see if this game ends up having that same sort of influence on games like those, of like, yeah, so we're going to introduce a new crafting mechanic, and we see like a wave of new Breath of the Wild likes.
Well, this is going to change. Like, if this actually does go through and this actually is a good system, this could change the way games look at crafting. Like,
it could.
It really could. I can see it.
We've seen similar crafting systems and stuff before, but it was always like little one-off things in survival games. And like, yeah, you play Raft for a little bit and throw some stuff on the ground and go, it's an axe. And I mean, yeah, you can turn it into an axe.
Right.
But I've never seen a system that's this like free form with this. Just like, yeah, attach anything to anything else. Have fun. Like, I'm really curious, because again, how are bosses gonna work in this game? I'm really hoping, because my first thought is like, somebody's gonna try and build a mech immediately. Another thought that I had is, what if there's a boss in this game that just already is a mech, and the way that you beat them is like using your fusibility to deconstruct the mech?
I was just about to say, can you take things apart with this?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is too much. Like,
it's so much freedom in a system that seems so abusable, but I'm always on the side of like, more freedom to the player is going to be a good thing.
Right.
Even when it's exploitable, as long as it's fun, then that's all we need. And Breath of the Wild also had a lot of that, with like, oh yeah, you can beat the game in like a few minutes if you learn like, oh, I can jump on my shield and use my bow to target, and when I'm in my zoomed in mode, acceleration just goes off, so if you jump on a bokoblin head while surfing your shield, you shoot across the map and you get to the castle. That's just a thing you can do, and they never patched it out, because why would they? Like it's fun.
It is, yeah.
Um,
I like when games do that though. Like you see games that have those like kind of they try to fix the fun out of like glitches and stuff. I hate that. Like leave them in. Like that's the fun
yeah,
part. Like now, granted, there are some of the games like GTA for example who have the modders and it just gets like a problem. But I have never seen a bad modder though. Like if you think about it, mods make things kind of fun, but also broken.
I
Controversial.
Yes, I think I understand from the perspective of like if you're adding in mods and trying to use them online,
Yeah,
then
that one.
that's not great.
That's not great. If it's like
Um,
Call of Duty or something like that, like some kind of game where it kind of
if it
benefits,
gives you an advantage over other players,
I don't think it should be. But if it makes like a value, like a fun value to it, adds like I don't know, like you see just cars coming down from the sky randomly,
Yeah.
just some harmless fun.
just for funsies.
Keep it.
Because like even on the PS4 like or the console version of GTA 5, they have like preset mods. Like it's not like the
Right.
modding community, but they've got like in game like yeah, if you do this combination of things, your punches explode people.
Yeah, I remember doing some of those, and it was fun. Like it was
Yeah.
just harmless,
Why wouldn't you?
So why don't other games like implement kind of fun values to like boring games, like
I do very much enjoy like aesthetic mods,
yeah,
where
me
it's
too.
just like giving characters new costumes that somebody in the community made. That's a big one in like the fighting game community, and like JRPGs where it's like yeah, I want my character to have the armor set from 2 games ago. Like okay,
Right.
do it.
What's so wrong with that? Like what's that one game that Subnautica? Like they have an actual like cheating menu, like
Yeah.
and it's just harmless. So like I feel like that might be like a mixed topic, but like I just feel like some games should implement like some kind of fun value that sure it might break a game, but it's still fun to play because overall, what is a game? It's supposed to
One
be
of
fun
the
pastime.
craziest mods that I've ever seen was I've talked a little bit about Arc System Works before. They're the company that made the Guilty Gear franchise, Blaze Blue. They did the Persona 4 Ultimax and Arena games, as well as Dragon Ball Fighters.
Okay.
And DNF Duel, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, which is getting a sequel soon. Where they've got like all of these like gorgeous like 3D anime aesthetic 2D fighting games, and apparently a bunch of them ran on the same engine, and so a modder was just like, what if we just like took a character and just drag and drop them from one game to another, and within like I think it was about a year ago, they did it successfully where they were just like, guys, I just put Goku in Guilty Gear Strive, and he just functions exactly the same as he does in Dragon Ball Fighters, and I didn't like mod in his moveset or anything. He can just work the game
Wow.
as he functions in Dragon Ball because it's running in the same engine and all of the buttons translate. He can just do Dragon Ball shit in this new like I mean it's the same game engine, so it's not like you're changing a whole lot. And seeing people like take Goku online and fight in a game where he's not supposed to be there,
Right.
crazy.
I like seeing Xenoverse, especially Xenoverse 2. Like I love seeing the modded community just come together and like you see like manga Dragon Ball characters and you see all these characters and then it's just so amazing.
How does that work for Xenoverse? Because that's in like MMO style game,
Right.
isn't
So like what they do basically is it's fairly simple. I almost did it once, but like you take the game, some of the game files, and then the modding community just like mods in the characters. So basically it just once you do that, you just implement the little I guess it's the code or whatever. I don't know how it specifically works or not. But like no, it just functions like it's supposed to. You just have all the characters being the character, but it's like it's an actual character from the game, like from the actual manga or the show that they don't actually have. And I'm just like,
So is it taking the place of a slot that's already in the game, or is it putting like the model of that character over top an existing moveset?
so what they're mainly doing is they're taking the character customization tool that they have in the beginning of the games, and then making those characters, instead of an actual customizable character, they make it basically the customized character, but just hype the stats.
Gotcha.
So it's mainly like they still use the
So it's
same
like they
movesets.
homebrewed a character more than
Right,
anything else.
right. But then sometimes you got some modders who actually have um, their own custom movesets that they have actually made.
Hmm.
So that I don't know how they do, but like they just
That's crazy.
it's creative and crazy.
Yeah, the only game that I can think of that does anything similar to that would be within like the past year and a half, the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 community has
Mhm.
started putting new custom characters in the game. And that's not a game that has a create a character or anything. That's just like they're taking characters that have never been in fighting games before and giving them their own like move set that makes sense for them. Like, yeah, we'll just take this character from Asura's Wrath and put him in the game because why wouldn't we?
Right.
And now there's like an entire modded competitive scene, which is really interesting to me. Of like, yeah, we took these characters that were never in the game, and we're going to like have a competition where you can go out in a local bracket and play using these characters that by all means should not exist, and people are playing it. It's amazing. I've never seen a community like just bring itself back from the dead like that, and it's wild that they're taking that direction.
Mm.
Speaking of competitive fighting games, there's actually a decent amount of news as far as the SNK lineup of series. We have Kim Kafwan came out today for KOF 15. I had the opportunity to play him a little bit before I came in to record. He plays very similarly to how he did in KOF 14, but he's a lot more polished. I struggle a little bit with like the forward inputs for his like full screen kicks, and his spacing is a little bit weird for me, but I'll get used to it. We got to see a little bit of Sylvie Palapala, who I love and everyone else hates. She's based on a real idol in Japan named Kyari Pamu Pamu, who I think the best way that I can describe her is she's bad insane, but like in a fun way. Uh, I think honestly the closest thing that like if you took the aesthetic of JoJo Siwa and then put it over the personality of like Lady Gaga, that is sort of where Kyari Pamu Pamu exists. Of like, yes, I will have my big giant bow that covers the entirety of my head, and it'll just have eyes. There's just eyes on it that look at you constantly.
I
They
don't know how I
track you.
feel.
How's it work? Who knows?
I
I'll
don't know
show
how I
up
feel
to
about
the
that.
award ceremony in a dress made of meat. Sure.
I wouldn't.
Huh?
I would not.
Well, she did. Uh, no, she's really weird person. But this character is like directly based on her and has like lightning abilities and weird like Tim Burton aesthetic now, which changed a lot from KOF 14. She looks very fun. I'm excited. Uh, we also had the reveal of a new boss rush mode.
Mm.
Previously, we had the surprise DLC character of Omega Rugal, and they were just like, yeah, this is free, you can have it, it's whatever. And they're doing that same thing again mid-season with Gainitz from the Orochi saga in like KOF 94 through 98, which is really interesting, and I'm very excited for that. Again, it's going to be the system of like, if you beat the boss rush, then you get to play as him and you unlock him for free, which I really like that system personally, because it brings in new players that are able to like try out a newer character without having to buy like a new one or the DLC pass or anything. And then if they are like invested in like, yeah, this is fun, then they have the option of buying the DLC packs, and I enjoy that.
Mm.
We also got to see KOF 13 and Sam Show are getting rollback netcode. Sam show we knew about. KOF 13 was the prettiest sprite game in existence, like ever. Uh, Immaculate animation, brilliant soundtrack, absolutely garbage netcode. And this is changing that, and it is bringing it to PS4 and Switch for the first time. It's going to be KOF 13, I think, Global Match is the title that they're going with, which is really interesting because the game is legendary. It went viral a couple years ago for having insanely difficult combo trials that a bunch of content creators were able to sort of farm and like go through, and they're like really really tight mechanics. I'm excited to give it a shot, especially because there's a lot of characters from that just haven't seen the light of day in a while.
Right.
And I would like to be able to play them. We also got to see new, not even so much a new trailer as like a poster reveal almost for Garo Mark of the Wolves 2, showing Andy, Joe, and Terry Bogard, which, lovely. Makes sense that they're in the game. They are the Fatal Fury characters, but only Terry was in Garo Mark of the Wolves 1, so it's interesting that Andy and Joe are going to be showing up in this.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. It's not like the biggest surprise, but I'd be curious to see if Geese makes it into the game because he's like the other big like face of the franchise, and like even after his whole like guest appearance in Tekken 7, he canonically in the Mark of the Wolf series, he's straight up dead, so might not show up. Outside of that, let's talk about movies for a little bit.
Ooh, I like movies.
Yeah, so two big gaming movies, one very recently and one literally tomorrow. Talk about the one that came out already. I had the opportunity to go and see Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves, and then I had the opportunity to go see it again, so I'd seen it twice now.
Oh.
And I gotta say, this movie's fantastic, man. I thought it was going to be absolute garbage.
Well, I had a friend actually go see it,
Yeah.
and he told me that it was actually a good movie, and I'm still kind of skeptical.
It's legitimately fantastic.
I feel like it would be a good movie, is a good movie,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. It's just not. There's so many movies that came out right now, and it's just like I gotta pick two. Well, technically one, because I got that movie credits, but still,
Right.
I got two. So I gotta pick two movies. I'm thinking I'm going to go see Cocaine Bear and Creed 3.
Cocaine Bear's out of theaters already, man.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm gonna go see it.
No,
I haven't seen it yet.
No, I mean like it's no longer showing in theaters. You missed it.
We're not gonna talk
So
about
this
it.
D&D movie.
We're not gonna talk about it. We're not gonna talk about that.
Cocaine Bear was pretty good.
I wanted to see that, but I also
I mean,
kind of
I'm
want to go
sure
see
it'll
it.
be on streaming platforms within like the next
I
month
feel
or
like
so.
it will. I'll probably just pirate it.
Yeah, I mean, don't say that on the recording.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Yar har fiddly and whatnot. No, I mean, I personally would recommend going and seeing the D&D movie, even if you're not familiar with D&D. Like,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of fan service of like people going like, I know that spell. That's what that spell does. But completely removed from all that, it's legitimately just like a fun movie.
How was the audience reaction too?
Fantastic.
Really?
Actual applauding in theater, which I have not seen since like Avengers Endgame, and prior to that, probably like the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie.
That Broly movie was good. I'm not gonna.
good.
It's so good. It's so good.
Like I went and saw Dragon Ball Super Superhero, and it was pretty good.
I still need to go see that.
It's a movie.
Is it not good?
Okay, I liked it, and it did some things that were very fan servicey in terms of like appealing to me specifically.
Right.
The movie focuses primarily on Piccolo and Gohan, and their dynamic is one that I really enjoy. It's like, yeah, that's his dad.
Well, Piccolo and Gohan, I think that's kind of old nowadays. I need Gohan and like I don't know, put Videl in there. Like
I would love more focus on Videl.
I need some more Videl because like
Great.
she's you telling me this human child of Hercule is over here with Gohan,
Yeah.
the son of Goku? Like,
Yeah.
come on, we gotta get some more of
Now,
that.
I will say, I said it focused primarily on Gohan Piccolo. It focuses primarily on Gohan Piccolo and Pan.
Oh, I forgot. I almost forgot about Pan for
Yeah,
some
she's
reason.
like almost main character of this movie.
Really?
I mean, Piccolo's the main character, like for realsies, but like Pan is like the driving like force behind.
How
most
old
of the
is
plot.
Pan?
She's like 7, 8.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay. I was about to say because like, I
Nah,
just had
she's in
to.
like elementary school.
Okay.
Still fighting, but she's in elementary school.
Cool.
Which we should come to expect based on like Goten and Trunks and
Obviously, yeah. Their dynamic is still kind of weird though. I'm like, y'all are still a little childish, and even when y'all grow up, y'all still childish. So
Yeah.
like, when are we gonna see Trunks? Trunks. Like, that was back in the day.
Did you watch Dragon Ball Super? Cause like
It wasn't enough.
we got more Trunks.
But like again, we need Trunks to be better. Trunks, like, come on, Trunks. First introduction of Trunks in Dragon Ball Z,
Legendary.
Legendary. Like, this dude came out of this time traveling machine looking like a true badass. Like, and you're gonna tell
And he
me
one-shots the biggest villain of last arc.
yes, literally,
And
no
his dad.
chance, no chance, no chance,
We can do.
right? And then you just make Kid Trunks.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
what?
in order for future Trunks to exist, Kid Trunks has to exist.
But where's Goten in this future? Like, they don't talk about him.
Oh yeah, no, he did.
Yeah, I know he dead, but like, it's just tragic to me. Like, you could have done so much things with Trunks.
I mean, everyone's dead in that future.
I
The
know.
androids made sure of that.
Well, yeah,
Like,
but again,
what you gonna do?
Trunks. Like,
Okay, you know something that actually does bother me about future Trunks, and more specifically, future Gohan. Gohan, in the modern day, goes Super Saiyan 2 in the fight against Cell.
Right.
Right? And that happens because he's finally able to like get angry. He has this rush of emotion of like, oh, I just had this speech given to me by this android I've never spoken to before, and then I see his head get crushed, and I go, oh, that's the last straw, and then he goes Super Saiyan 2. Future Gohan has seen everyone he loves die.
no, literally.
He's missing an arm. Why did he never go Super Saiyan 2?
Well, I think he did. I think he was Super Saiyan 2. Like, he was.
Yeah, he was only ever one. He never had the lightning, he never had the extra hair, he never had nothing. And there's never been an explanation for it.
Yeah, that's true, because Cell games. I'm slow. I'm so slow. No, but Future Gohan is still one of the best. Like,
Future Gohan's
he's a
cool.
goat.
He's super neat, but like he's wildly underpowered for what he should be.
He really should be like,
Like, he should be up here.
he probably should be Goku level.
I mean, he should at least, because like Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan beat Cell.
Well, he did have the training with Goku and everything like that.
True.
So there's
But
that factor.
that is a year of training, and Future Gohan has had however long it took him to be big buff boy.
No,
one-armed
literally.
man.
Where did he get this buffness? Like,
Like, I don't know.
why didn't Teen Gohan get like Future Gohan?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Teen Gohan,
Teen Gohan slaps.
he's the best.
Best character ever.
Like buff as hell. I don't know if I'm going that far. Okay, listen, I'm biased.
I'm going best character.
Okay.
Teen Gohan, it goes Teen Gohan, Bardock.
Ooh, interesting.
Definitely because of the mangas too. I ain't gonna spoil.
No,
but-
I've read it.
Okay, Granola,
Yeah.
Bardock's Granola. I'm just saying, goated,
Okay. All right.
goated. I wish he was still around. Like, I hope they do something. Since they now have this knowledge of Bardock, they do something and bring him back.
I'm so glad the Broly movie like fleshed that
Oh
out.
my goodness.
Like, we needed that.
We really did.
Okay. My top 3 in
Okay.
no particular order. That is a lie. Android 17. Best boy. Love him. Like, best character. I adore that.
Okay.
Yamcha.
Why?
And I'm not joking.
Why?
Because I think it's hilarious that okay, these next 2 are actually in no particular, they're interchangeable.
Right.
I think it's hilarious that Yamcha was introduced as this absolute badass. Like, oh yeah, this is the most formidable guy you've ever spoken to. He's like got his own like martial arts technique. He has this like crazy spirit ball ability that we've never seen before.
Right.
And he's like a bandit. He's out here being cool and shit. And as he like went through like original Dragon Ball, he got stronger and stronger. And he like it was unironically one of the strongest people on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And when Dragon Ball Z started, he became a joke in an instant.
No, literally.
He died to a Cyberman, and nobody will ever let him live that down.
I still won't let him live that down.
He is treated as a joke. During the saga in between, like, the Cell Saga and Majin Buu arc, like the Otherworld tournament and everything, Yamcha's still training. Like, don't get me wrong, he's not, like, focusing on martial arts solely at this point. He's got, like, a baseball career. He's living his best life.
Right.
That man beats an opponent that is on the same level, if not stronger, than Cell. During the Otherworld arc, he does that. By himself. Single-handedly. The man leveled up, and nobody was watching.
Because he still got beat by a Cyberman. I'm never letting him live that down. He will not live that down. That's just like saying,
okay, but like, Chaozu's the best boy. That man exploded on a back, and
Now, don't do my don't do my boy Chaozu like that. Don't do my boy Chaozu like that. Don't do him like that. It was still a sad moment.
It's a sad moment.
It's a sad moment.
Who is crying for Yamcha? I will cry for Yamcha.
I will not be joining you with crying for Yamcha. I'm sorry, but
he did his best, and it failed.
His best,
and so he got better.
His best was not
good. That is what Dragon Ball is.
No, it was not that good. You gotta do better.
That's what I'm saying. He got better. That's his whole
Barely.
deal. That's everyone's whole deal. Anyway, those are my top. Like, okay, 17 in number 1 spot, and then tied for 2nd place, Yamcha and Tien. Tien is so cool. I love like having a character that's just weird. Like,
yeah, I don't like his eyes.
You don't like him?
I don't like him.
I love it. Because he's, I mean, one, it's the joke. It's like, oh yeah, he opened his 3rd eye. There it is.
Wow.
But more than that, he had such an intimidating presence in the original Dragon Ball.
Right.
And in Dragon Ball Z, he has what I consider to be the single most badass moment in the entire show, which is the continuous Kikoho against Cell.
I saw that. I was like, ooh, that moment was good. That moment in...
Because, like, he just doesn't let go. He knows for a fact, I'm not going to be able to beat this guy. But I am sick of waiting around for everyone else to do something for me. I am not waiting for Goku. I am going out onto that field. And even if I can't beat him, I will slam him into the ground as many times as humanly possible. He did it.
Now, I just wish that they shine more light on Vegeta. I'm sorry.
Vegeta gets all the limelight.
No, he does not. No, he's always shadowed by Goku. You cannot tell me he ain't.
Goku and Vegeta are Dragon Ball at this point. The two of them just like going off and doing their own thing. I'm stronger now. Now I'm stronger.
No, this is the Goku show. This is literally the Goku show. It is, yeah, that's true. He gets influenced by Vegeta a lot. Now, granted, again, in the mangas, when we talk about ego, his ultra ego, that should be the pinnacle of Vegeta, right? Like, that should be like, you know, it's basically could probably surpass Ultra Instincts. You know, my ego.
I do think it's really interesting that we have like multiple characters going the route of like unique transformation.
I like the unique transformations
Yeah.
too. I really do.
We got Beast Gohan
so glad.
now.
See, I still need to do some research on that because I haven't seen the movie yet.
You gotta watch
So
the movie, man.
I want to.
Because Piccolo's actually.
See, I've seen Piccolo do his little thingy. I don't know about it. I don't know about it, but still, like, it's just like, ooh.
It's so cool seeing like more of a focus on like, yeah, instead of just striving to do the same thing that you're doing, I'm going to find my own. Like, Vegeta has a unique version of Super Saiyan Blue that Goku never unlocked.
Right.
He has Ultra Ego, which, you know, mirrors Ultra Instinct, but is very much like his own thing, which makes sense for him. Even back in DBZ, Majin Vegeta was its own, like, transformation.
Plus Super Vegeta. Don't even count out Super Vegeta either.
Well, Super Vegeta...
Super Vegeta was whack, but still. I mean, it was still his own thing. Like, he even has Super Vegeta in the name. That was the buffed up Vegeta. When Vegeta and Trunks buffed up in the Cell games, and then...
Okay, but, like, that transformation, like, like, this isn't even just my opinion. This is, like, canonically, that transformation is bad.
It's very bad. No, literally, it is like, bad, but it's still his own. Like,
and also Trunks did it. Like
Trunks did do it too. Yeah, I guess. But it still has Vegeta in the name. So what are you gonna call it? Super Vegeta for Trunks?
Well, no, because also that transformation in itself isn't called Super whatever. It's just like it's a technique more than it's like calling the Kaioken transformation. Because Super Vegeta is just Super Saiyan 1 Vegeta.
That's true. But still, like, the point I was getting at too, though, you have Goku,
right,
who decides, you know what, I'm tired of using Ultra Instinct because I gotta control myself in the manga,
right,
and I'm just gonna go my own style, and you know what, I'm just gonna use Ultra Instinct Omen.
Yeah.
And now I'm stronger.
Well, cause like
I'm stronger than Ultra Ego.
Cause true Ultra Instinct puts such like a huge strain on it.
It does. It really does. I'll give you that one too.
And Omen is like the best defensive technique that the series has ever seen.
That's true.
Like, don't get me wrong, Ego's got crazy armor on it. But having them go the route of like Goku like flowing water movement with like I won't get hit. And I'm going to have to focus everything on this single attack, and that has to end it. And then Vegeta, his transformation, having the focus on, like, I will tank your hits, and they will do nothing. Like, for the characters, that's such a cool way of expressing who they are.
You know it's such a Vegeta moment when he has Ultra Ego. It is very... but I still want to see Broly's.
It's super weird that his forehead stretches like that,
right?
Literally,
his forehead's...
It's wild.
It's big. I'm like, yeah.
Man,
you really need to go see a barber. Like, come on.
Man pulled out the like level 3 Frieza on us. Like, I don't know if your body's supposed to do that, man.
I don't either.
I'm curious to see if the other Z fighters end up with unique transformations. Because like you haven't seen the movie, but like Gohan and Piccolo have their own.
Right.
I'm be really interested to see if Krillin ever gets one, which like I honestly, based on how the series is like moving away from the human fighters, I don't think is super likelihood. But imagine if there was like like true Buddhist like Krillin with like the glowing thing. Like I mean, it'd be cool.
I could see that. That's what I'm saying. I really feel like they should show the humans more love too, because we need some human love. Yeah. Like. It's all about Goku, Vegeta.
My boy Tien's screen time. My man got 7 transformations.
No, you know what? We'll give Yamcha some screen time. We'll give him some. Chatsu?
The most screen time Yamcha got in the entirety of Dragon Ball Super was the baseball episode.
No, literally. I was just about to say that's all he got.
He dies in the baseball episode.
I saw that. That's why I'm like.
And I'm just like, ugh, damn it.
You can't have
Why?
Yamcha can never catch a break.
Okay, real quick.
Yep.
Dragon Ball Super. What's your opinion on Hit?
I actually like Hit's character.
Okay.
Like I really do. Like his little time skip ability, it's very unique.
So cool.
It's so cool.
So cool.
I really liked it. Now, if you were to give Hit some more like No, I feel like Hitch time skip is just like that's it. Like,
Mhm.
but still, it's a good ability. I love the concept and I love the
Yeah.
ability. But then you have him up against Jiren, and then Jiren just like
Okay, so Jiren's a really interesting
Jiren.
I loved every fight that man was in.
Yeah, me too. Definitely the ending with Vegeta. I mean, not Vegeta. Goku and Frieza.
Oh, so cool.
It's such a
Going
iconic moment.
through the stage.
No, literally.
Like Dragon Ball's never looked prettier.
Yeah,
At the
100%.
time, Dragon Ball had never looked prettier, and like the theme starting up as they're like plummeting through the world.
It was
so
such a masterpiece on that one.
And it's crazy because I see a lot of people like hating on Jiren, and I get it. He's a fairly one-note character for the time being.
Right.
But like, you could say the same thing about Hit, and everyone loves him. And I'm just like these. I love that Dragon Ball is giving us more unique characters. Like even like the side people for the like tournament arc there. We had like Top, who had the potential to be just like, oh yeah, no, he's a big buff mustached man. He's a joke character. My man became a god of destruction.
I was
through.
like, oh my gosh, this
That's
man
a
just
thing you can
my man
do.
just said, nah, like he turned up. He was like, don't
That's
tempt me.
Insane. We've been talking about Dragon Ball
No,
for 20
literally,
minutes.
I think so. It's just a good topic though.
I was talking about the D&D movie.
How do we get here again?
I don't know. Okay, so we had two movies I want to talk about in terms of gaming. One of them, D&D movie.
Right.
Good movie. Solid movie. The other one, Mario movie's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
That is tomorrow.
Oh.
I'm excited.
See, I was gonna use my other ticket on Creed 3.
See, now you gotta choose. Do you want to watch the Punch-Out movie or do you want to watch the Mario movie?
But like Michael B. Jordan though, like he's got my name in his name.
We don't know for a fact that he's not in the Mario movie. He could be Bullet Bill. I don't know.
No, I did see a TikTok where Jack Black was trying to be like the Mario movie, go see it. And I'm like, Jack Black said it.
I mean, he's in the movie. He's Bowser.
That's what I'm saying.
He's great.
If Jack Black's in the movie,
This movie has the weirdest, most stacked lineup of like any animated film. Like we got Chris Pratt as Mario is weird. Right?
That's very
we can
weird.
acknowledge that as like that's the weird.
very weird.
But then when you get past that, Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach,
Okay.
fantastic casting. Charlie Day as Luigi, amazing casting.
Okay.
We got Jack Black as Bowser, beautiful casting.
Okay.
Keegan-Michael Key as Toad.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I don't know. We got Donkey Kong in the movie. Who's a good fit for? Let's get Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong. Why is Seth Rogen Donkey Kong?
See, this just sounds like a whole like celebrity, just like
Put everyone in.
You know,
Put everyone in.
everyone. Where's Kevin
Kevin who?
Hart?
You know what?
You know he's in every movie.
Okay. Now we could go the like self-referential route of like, oh yeah, make him a rabbit because he already plays a rabbit.
He already plays a rabbit.
With Illumination, same studio. You could also go the route of like, what would be the funniest character for Kevin Hart to play? And personally, I think it would be a Babam.
I was just about to say that.
I think Kevin Hart should be
The
a
Rock.
Babam. Okay, let's cast The Rock. Okay, my automatic, like where my brain goes would be cast him as a Thwomp.
Who is a Thwomp?
I don't know that we know. Wait, do you mean
like the?
Are you asking like who the voice is, or
Yeah, who is the voice?
I don't know who the voice of the Thwomp in the games is. I don't know that we've seen Thwomps in any of the trailers.
Who do you think would be a good rough?
Oh, Chain Chomp?
Yes.
Oh, dang. Okay, that's an interesting question. Because like, dang. Okay. The problem is, the perfect guy for the role existed, and he's dead now. Because like, given the option, I really would want to cast DMX. Right? Like,
Okay, we already have Keegan Michael Peele. I mean, Key in it. Jordan
Right.
Peele.
Okay, you're asking who I'm casting Jordan Peele as?
I think Jordan Peele can be Chain Chomp or how rough.
It is Chain Chomp.
Chain Chomp.
Yeah.
I can see Jordan Peele doing it.
The problem is they only communicate by barking, and it would just be lots of Peele going, ruff, bark.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
I would love that.
I don't know that it like plays to his strengths enough. Like the man's hilarious. Don't make
That's
him
true.
just make sound effects.
That's true. Okay.
What is he, Vin Diesel? Like,
I don't mind that.
Huh?
I don't mind that.
You don't mind Vin Diesel?
Yeah, I don't mind Vin Diesel playing Char Chomp.
Okay, that one I actually would be down with just
Rough.
because
Family.
Because Vin Diesel is the voice of Groot, right? Yeah.
I see it now.
Yeah.
I would not hate that.
It'd be weird. But like,
It
I feel
would.
like if you make the Chain Chomp voice anything but just the default rough noise, it will be weird, no matter who it is.
That's true.
It's weird because I'm going through actors in my head of like who would make good dog noises. It's weird to think about.
I like how your mind went to DMX too. Like that's just crazy.
Famous for his dog noises though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The man roughs. Roughed.
Rough. Wow.
Sorry.
Tragic.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. There's like weird choices being made for casting, and it feels like one of those movies where we've got this insane lineup already, but there's gonna be characters that show up that are like little one-offs and cameos where I'm just like, who was that? Who was that? Like, okay, of course, I gotta cast my boy Danny DeVito as Wario.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
of course you would say that.
There's only
I could
one
see
option.
that. Now that you just mentioned that, I could definitely see that.
It makes sense.
It really does.
And like, don't even animate him. Just green screen him in. Give him an outfit. Green screen him in the movie. He's the only live action character. He's very poorly edited in. Now, I've actually talked about this before with other people. In the event that they ever were to make a Smash Brothers movie, I am casting live action Danny DeVito as Pac-Man. So,
Live action.
live action.
Pac-Man.
Yes, everyone else gets to be animated. Danny DeVito is painted yellow and put in naked.
I'll pay to see that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I'll
of
pay. I'll
course.
pay. I'll pay up.
Okay. Do you have any like final like hopes and dreams for this movie? Because again, you got literally one day.
Let's see. Well, obviously the first one, it don't suck.
Of course.
Obviously,
Any bets?
bets. Ooh.
Do you think it'll suck?
Part of me wants to say no.
Is that hope or is that?
I hope
belief?
no. My belief is gonna be a yes.
I
what we
hope
got?
that it will be good, and I believe that it will be pretty okay.
So you betting it's mid?
I think this is going to be a 7 out of 10 movie.
So,
But I'm going to leave that theater and be like, that was a 9 out of 10 movie.
see, I couldn't. I feel like right now, off the cast list, just the cast list alone, I'm like, you see all these casts, big name casts
Oh, yeah.
that I even know. Like, if I know the names of them, of course I know them. Like, but all of them together, it's like, in a Mario movie too, it's low. It's low.
They should cast Adam Sandler as King Boo.
I cannot. I might go see this movie though.
Jeff Goldblum as Hammer Bro.
I can see that one. I can.
I
see
really
that
badly.
one. I can see that one.
Featuring Jeremy Renner as Jeremy Renner.
Not Jeremy Renner. Oh my gosh.
It's gonna be a wild day.
No.
Moving on. Uh, we talked a little bit about this before as a possibility, but it's official now. Nintendo, Sony, Ubisoft, Tencent, all absent from E3. They're all gone.
Wow.
And I let me double check this to make sure that I'm right. As of literally 5 days ago, E3 has been officially canceled. Not happening this year.
That's tragic.
I think that's the end of it, man. I don't see them coming back from this. Maybe they'll try again next year, but like this is what the second time
Yeah,
that
I
it's
was about
been
to say
canceled,
they've
because it
already
also
been
got
canceled.
for COVID.
Yeah, I was about to say they got canceled already.
And when the game companies figured out, like, oh, okay, more people are showing up for our digital events anyway than we would get for money that we put into showings at E3. I mean, what are you gonna do? They've got no reason to be there anymore.
It's crazy.
It's sad, but like it makes sense, right?
It really does make sense, but again, that it's E3. Like
It is. It's iconic.
everyone knows E3. Like everyone. Who doesn't know E3? I feel
I-
like my brother even knows E3.
Yeah.
So like,
I don't know. It was one of those events where, like, as a kid, I was always like, one day I really want to go to E3.
right.
And I don't know that that's ever going to happen because I don't know that E3 is ever going to happen again.
That's
It
just
feels
sad,
like this is
man.
it.
That's really sad.
Maybe it'll go the route of that, like G3 did, where it'll be gone for like a decade, and then randomly we'll get an announcement like, and then like 10 people will show up, and then it'll go away again.
I pray. I really do like hope it doesn't stop. Like
It'd be lovely if we could get to a point again where this is an event people are paying attention to, but like honestly, outside of like Comic Cons and like specific like game competitions, I can't think of another like gaming event that has what E3 had, and I don't know that there's really a market for it anymore.
right.
Because who would go? Like we would go, but like
We
we're
would,
fucking nerds.
right.
So,
Right. That's crazy, bro. Like dang. That just made me sad a little bit. Like it's sad. Really sad.
I mean, it's wild to think about because like, don't get me wrong, like there's still like a lot of people paying attention to like the gaming news cycle, but like if you want to know what's up with Namco Bandai, you look on their YouTube and you go, oh, Tekken 8's got Lars, Jack 8, Jun Cosmos, Xiao Yu, Leroy Smith, and Asuka. That's neat. That happened last week. Like, that's... When is there going to be, like, a time for, like, okay, we have an event, we need to announce 9 things at once. Because nowadays, they've got their own events for that.
Right.
You've got the PS4 and PS5 like State of Play with Sony. You have Nintendo Directs with Nintendo. I think Xbox has their own presentation.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember.
But
what they're called.
they mainly used E3 though.
Well, like even their past showings at E3 were just like sizzle reels of stuff that they could have put in a digital event like that. And I mean, out of everyone, we talked about like all the massive layoffs and everything earlier in the year. Microsoft is not a company that likes throwing away money.
No,
It's not going to be coming
really.
back.
I know.
And it's silly to think about because it's one of the events that like gets the most like critique and flack. But legitimately, I think that the closest thing that we're ever going to get to E3 from this point forward is going to be competitions where it's focused on a particular game and we get announcements there, and the Game Awards.
Yeah, I was about to say if they get rid of the Game Awards, the world's over.
No, Jeff Keighley would never let it die.
I heard that.
But there's no precedent for it anymore. There's no reason to have it, and that makes me so sad.
It makes me sad too.
It's like I just, even just from a like see cosplayers or like go and like talk to developers at a booth kind of thing. It's such a like microcosm of what the gaming community is and has to offer. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there's always going to be the horror stories, but like I didn't want to be a part of them. I just wanted to go see a cool thing.
Right.
Go to a Nintendo stand, see a big old treehouse. Like that's cool. I wanna watch the Nintendo Treehouse live. Never happening.
Tragic.
Um, Outside of that, there's not too much to talk about. Resident Evil 4 launched. Capcom seems to be continuing their trend of the HD remakes of their older series, and this is getting into the Resident Evil, what I refer to as the anime era of Leon Kennedy doing action movie hero stuff, which, cool. I got nothing against it. Uh, Very curious to see what they're going to do when they get to RE6 because I was one of 2 people that liked that game, and it is the most anime bullshit out of any of them. So, yay! But like, for a game like that to get like a remake and remaster, I would not be surprised if it like outsold its original by like double the cost. But yeah, that's about all we got for like new gaming news in terms of like the past couple weeks.
Right.
I will say I wanted to ask you a little bit specifically because of Resident Evil 4. There's been a trend, and it's happening a lot with like The Last of Us is getting a Part 1 remake. The Resident Evil games like RE1 through 4 now have solid remakes, and Street Fighter 6 is coming out. We got Tekken 8 coming out, and across these games, I've noticed a trend of abandoning what was like the defining, unique art style of those games in favor of realism.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you what your thoughts were on that, because I've heard you talk about like you want realism like more than anything. You want your games to look like real life.
Right. Well, see, with that line, it's kind of like a little hard to like dictate a little bit because part of me does want the realistic aspect of video games. I do like to feel like I could be a part of this world. But then also when you think back, I want realistic looking graphics, but still the same kind of like color schemes or like feel of the game. If you just have a fully realistic game, there's no ifs and buts. Like, for example, if they made GTA look realistic, it would not look good. Like they try to make GTA look realistic.
GTA does look realistic. Like that's about as
To
realistic as an art
extent.
style as you
Like,
can get.
no. They have so many people like trying to ray trace it, do a lot of fix the weather cycles, fix the building layouts, fix the lighting, but it doesn't look realistic. It just looks bland and weird.
I feel like that's more of an issue with like the hardware limitations.
It definitely is. Like, don't get me
It is
wrong.
the art style.
Don't get me wrong. GTA does look realistic. Like, I feel like GTA is the most realistic game out. Like, looks most realistic. Don't quote me on that. But like, when you favor realism over the heart and feel of a remastered game or a remade game, it just makes it just I don't like it. You know, like I would keep it at if you want to make it like do some ray tracing here and there, but still keep that feel and the color schemes of the games, you know? Keep that soul in a game, you know?
I think a game that did that fantastically was the Final Fantasy VII remake, where looking at it, you have like your brain goes like, yeah, those are people. Like they
Right.
look like normal people, but they still have the like iconic like facial structure that the characters did when they were like 2D artwork, and the hair, like while it looks like real hair, it's acting like real hair doesn't act, and I think that they were able to find like a perfect balance, at least in terms of like the iconic looks of these characters and making it more realistic, because I mean, obviously Square Enix has put a lot of like time and money into these. There is a very similar art style to Final Fantasy 15 and 16, which is coming out soon. But I do think like Final Fantasy 7 remake and I think God of War 2019 and 2018 and Ragnarok both do that sort of like we're gonna keep what makes these characters looking like these characters, but we're going to uh, provide them a level of detail that lends itself to tricking you into thinking it's realism. And I really enjoy that, but I worry that if we rely on that too much, we are going to lose like the iconic looks of
Right.
what we once had.
But now, granted, I will say some games just don't need to look realistic. Real like that's just let's just be 100% honest here.
But you don't want to open Naruto whatever like Ninja Storm and have Naruto just look like a guy named Brian.
No, like no. If you have a game that actually looks too realistic, it's not gonna feel realistic. You know,
Yeah.
it's like wow, us like Jump Force. Let's take that for example. Like I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. The art style for Jump Force was not it for me. But
Okay.
it was also a hot topic because for all those different characters that they had, like Naruto mixed with Goku, mixed
Right.
with some like other characters, you gotta like adapt to what. Like, there's no one specific art style for all of those characters, or it wouldn't look like the characters. That's why it was a little iffy when they came out with Jump Force, and it was just meh.
Jump Force is a weird case because that game, they went hard on the realism aspect in terms of like the environment and the complete opposite direction with the characters.
No, really, that's why I don't like it.
Like they were like, yeah, we're gonna like make them look like they do in their respective comics, but like the world is going to be as realistic as possible. When it rains in this game, you're gonna see like water droplets go down the side of Cell's face, and it's gonna just look like he's a freaking moving statue. It is weird.
Right. You know what they should have, like, what game kind of did good on it? And I'm not gonna lie. It was, shoot. I just had it. I had a brain for it. It was the, Nickelodeon fighting game with, like, the whole, like, little,
Nick All Stars.
I think so.
Okay.
It might have been.
Nickelodeon All Stars Battle Royale. I think. No, that's I'm doing the PlayStation name. What was the name of the Nick?
Because, like, if you think about those games, like, it's just, you have all those different...
All-Star Brawl.
All-Star Brawl, yeah. Because if you, like, you had all those characters from, like, different periods, different times, different this, that, but it was still felt like it was their select homes just in a new universe, you know? Or, like, fighting games do it the best, except Jump Force, of course, but...
Jump Force, that's not a fighting game.
What would you
Arena
consider?
Fighter.
Oh.
The Game Awards made that mistake one year, and I'll never forgive them.
Yikes. I apologize deeply to all the fighting community and the fighting fans.
This
I did not
past
mean
year,
it.
they called Sifu a fighting game. That is a beat 'em up.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's not a fighting game. Even though that actually came to Xbox, I found out.
Yeah.
And I
I got it on
was
Switch.
so happy. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I might
game.
buy it, but
It's not a
no.
fighting game, but it's a cool game.
It is a cool game. I'll give them that one. But no, I feel like most games just don't need to be realistic if they don't have to be.
Honestly, I think the game that I think has probably the most realistic looking characters that is able to capture the spirit of what it once was is Mortal Kombat, because they were live action people from the beginning.
Right.
Even the original Mortal Kombat was like real people that they took video of, and they were like, all right, now you are the actor playing this sprite for this game. And when they moved to 3D models, a lot of that was lost. But now that we're to the point where those 3D models can look like real people, we're back to having actors again. And like, yeah, we're going to scan you into the game, and we're going to like give you this unique armor, and it's going to be super cool, and you get to like be yourself, and it's neat. I love it.
I did too.
Do I like Mortal Kombat? No, it feels bad. But that is a me problem, not a Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat's a fighting game, though.
Mortal Kombat is a fighting game.
Just checking.
I
I have to check nowadays now.
No. Mortal Kombat has had games that weren't fighting games. In particular, I think it's Mortal Kombat Legacy Sub-Zero, or Mortal Kombat Anthologies Sub-Zero, which was bizarrely a platform beat 'em up. Yeah, they literally copied and pasted Sub-Zero's like original sprite, and they put it in like a really shitty Metroidvania. It was weird. It was bad. Um, Speaking of that, though, actually leads into my last question that I had for you. That one is a bad spin-off game, but I wanted to know if you could make a spin-off game of an existing series, what would you do with it? And it can be like whatever. Like you can take a game series that already has like an existing genre and move it to a different genre, or you can do like a series focused on a particular character or whatever. Like you can, if you want to be like Hogwarts Legacy, make it Mario Kart and do it. But
Okay. First thing that comes to my mind, that since we're talking about Mortal Kombat, I would really want to like move it from a fighting game to like a story-based game. I could, I would definitely like to see more of that. Like just right, first thing that comes off my head is just
when you say story based, what do you mean? Because Mortal Kombat is famous for being like the most cinematic fighting
right.
game out there. It's
Love
got
it.
like these
Love it.
like story modes that are like really intricate and lots of moving parts.
I don't know. Like I just want something. That's just so hard to like think about on the spot. But it's just like the first one that comes to mind is just like do something with Mortal Kombat to make it not a fighting game and make it something else. Like granted, I'm
Like
not
an
hating
open
on it.
world game or like,
I could see an open world or like a
'cause that's what Street Fighter's
RPG,
doing.
like an RPG.
Yeah,
I could see an RPG, a Mortal Kombat RPG.
that could be interesting.
Yeah, just do something with that. Like again, first one that comes to my head, boom. But if I had to, no, I would say that that was the main one I would do mainly.
That could be fun.
I could see that.
I think for me, I'm always hesitant to move away from like the genre of a given IP, just because we've seen it like fail so many times. But then again, you also have like the stories of successes. Like everybody loves Luigi's Mansion, and that's like the weirdest spin-off that they could have made.
Right.
And like the same is true of like you got like Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, which people are like love that game. I think if I was to do a spin-off title and make it like its own thing, I think I really enjoy when you have like really serious series and you give them something goofy to work with. So I really like the idea of having like, okay, we'll use Mortal Kombat as an example. We have all of these like really serious, gritty characters like fighting each other to the literal death. Okay, make it a Mario Party style game. Put all of those characters on a board game and have it be like, oh, well, you landed on a trap. Guess you actually die. And have them like sadistic mini games kind of thing.
Oh, okay. I see.
Play into like the turn Mario Party into a Saw movie kind of thing. And I'm always like hesitant to do that kind of thing because like it's weird finding who it can appeal to. But more and more online, I see people being like, these games shouldn't be taken as seriously as they are. And I'm just like, okay, we'll play into the goofy aspect of it.
Mhm.
And I'm like coming to the realization that I also love that. When you're playing Silent Hill, it's like, okay, this is a like gritty horror game. You're meant to like feel despair. You're meant to feel loneliness. There is an ending in Silent Hill 2 where you find out that the entirety of the town that you've been like running around looking for like the remnants of your dead wife, it was all being orchestrated by like a little Shiba Inu in a truck with some buttons, and everyone loves that ending. It's classic. It's got little goofy music that plays with the credits because of course it does.
Right.
But like, sure, give that guy a game. I want to play as that dog. Let me play through like a game where I am setting up the horror game elements for a player character and trying to like scare them the maximum amount, but I'm just a little dog running around and pulling levers. I want that. That sounds lovely.
Couldn't be me.
No,
I'm just kidding.
Not feeling it. Not feeling it.
I mean, it would be unique. Yes, I would give you that one. I would give you that
funny.
one. Yeah, I could see that definitely. I could definitely see that actually.
But yeah, that brings me to the end. Unless you've got anything else that you have that you'd like to impart on us.
One game I've been playing for about a good amount actually. Warframe.
Oh, really?
It got its 10-year anniversary.
Is it that old?
It's 10 years old.
That's
yes.
crazy.
Oh my goodness. This was okay. So this is one of the games that people said it wasn't gonna make it. They tried, I think, 2 times to try to get a different like publishers to publish this game and like try to promote this game, and it was not going through. At first, they were trying to make it like a sci-fi type game, and then it just turned into what it is today. Now, granted, it's had its ups and downs, obviously, but when I tell you this game is actually still good to this day, I will always stand by it. I'm still addicted to this game. Like,
That's crazy.
it's one of those things. It's like this game is really good.
Warframe is the only game that I can think of that's like the direct competitor to like Destiny 2.
See, I love that. But see, I always hated that though. That was one of the things that always pissed me off too, because everyone was always comparing the two. And I was like, if you really think about Warframe and Destiny, I don't see a comparison. Like, sure they're looter shooters, but like, I still, besides that, there's not really a
Sci-fi
correlation.
looter shooters with a focus on
Don't do
like
that.
character enhancement.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do what?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
What's that?
Don't do that. I was like,
Did you say?
don't do that.
Did you say
Don't do
multiplayer
that.
Mass Effect? Is that what I heard?
I was in 8th grade. Just everyone was saying Warframe is just Destiny. Warframe is a copy of Destiny. I'm like, Warframe came out first. Try me if you want to. Try me.
Is that right?
It's right.
Did it?
Okay. Warframe came out in 2013. Destiny came out in 2016.
2014.
2014. Yeah. Don't quote me on that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. They came out within half a year of each other.
Yeah. So
That's wild.
Destiny's about up there, but still, Warframe did it first. But it's just such a good, like, kind of wholesome thing to know, like, games that people say they don't make it, and still to this day is actually still one of, like, it's still growing. It as a free to play game too. Like, it's wild. And I'm just like, that's good.
The only other one that like I can think of that has been like growing at a consistent rate like that would be like Final Fantasy 14.
Right. Yeah.
Which everyone loves and I can't get into. I'm
That's
sorry.
alright.
I'm just
It's all right.
I really think it looks lovely. They do a lot of collaborations that I like. That Nier Automata thing, that looked pretty cool. But, like, I don't want to play Final Fantasy 14. I don't even want to play Warcraft. I'm good.
No, I agree with you. Well, GTA did it too. They're about what? GTA 5 is what? 6, 7?
It's older than
up.
that.
It's old.
Because GTA 5 was the PS3 game.
Yeah. So now
When was?
that's a good point. Like,
Grand Theft Auto 5 was released in September of 2013.
yeah,
It has been a full decade.
it's been a decade. So same as Warframe. Almost. Well, December it will be. September. So it will be. Yeah.
Yeah.
It will be 10 years. Wow.
Yeah.
All these games that's still lasting 10 years later is crazy.
I mean, Rockstar's got to be sitting on something insane for GTA 6, right?
They have
Like,
to be.
I know we had those leaks and people are like, oh, the game looks bad, but like, no, it's still in development. It's gonna
Right.
look bad no matter what. But like, if for a 10-year gap, for one of the most influential games ever released, one of the most profitable games ever released, where it was just assumed that you had it if you owned those systems. they have to be sitting on like the biggest bomb on the planet. Like,
Right. I feel
they're
like
about
it's
to
gonna
drop
flop.
something crazy.
It's gonna flop. It's going to flop. I can already see it's gonna flop. I hate to say that. I hate it. It's been so long that we've been waiting. Not good. Not good. It's been wait. You've been waiting
GTA.
for so long. The GTA community has been waiting for so long for this game to actually drop, to even be announced by Rockstar, and we got Red Dead.
Yes. Which everyone loved.
No, for a time, like 2 years, and then we went back to GTA 5.
You went back to GTA.
Yes, I did.
Everyone else, they're still playing Red Dead 2.
I don't see it. Like I see people
Very
like
active.
there's not that many people talk about it. Like I want it to be. Like you see people who talk about Red Dead talk about GTA 5 first. Like they talk about that before Red Dead.
Game came out first.
Well, of course, but still, you can't just no. I just think that this game is going to be a flop. It's gonna be come out, and it's not gonna be good. I hope it's good. I don't see it being good, but I really do hope it's good. Like honestly,
if it comes out and it's bad, I will comfort you and contain my laughter.
I'm gonna get it. Like pre-order that thing.
No matter what.
I'm gonna pre-order that day one. Like that's not a question. It's gonna be.
And if you spawn in
charts.
10 miles above the ground and you fall for the first 10 minutes of the game,
That's
I'll
all right.
laugh just a little bit.
That's all right. I will be 100% enjoying that. I still would to this day.
Cool. Anything else we got?
No, I don't think so.
Alrighty. Well, thank you all so much for listening. As always, this has been Eastern Geeks Out, EP Media Associated podcast. If you would like to talk to us with any questions, comments, or feedback, you can find us at www.easternprogress.com. I'm here with Jordan Lowry, and I hope you have a lovely afternoon, evening, and night. See ya.